And shalom, brothers and sisters. This week is on, the Torah portion is on bone, and Hebrew it means gold. This is the portion where the children of Israel were getting ready to leave Egypt. But in this portion of the Torah, it starts off with Pharaoh's servant said to him, "How long shall this man," talking about Moses, "be a snare to us?" Pharaoh's servant said, told Pharaoh to just let the people go because they was becoming a problem. And this is the thing that most people have in life where you gotta let go of the bad things. Pharaoh's servant said, "Pharaoh, just let Moses and his people go. They're causing us trouble." But Pharaoh didn't listen. The key to this is that you gotta learn when to let bad things go. If something is causing you trouble or harm, or taking away from your happiness, or something is causing you distress, you have to learn to just let it go. The problem that most people have is the same issue Pharaoh had. It's hard to let things go because it's now your ego is tested. The ego is tested because now you being Pharaoh, why do you want to let people go? They're your servants. They just built this for you. They built that for you. You being a name over the Israelites. So letting them go is hard. And for some people, it's hard to let things go, even though they know it's bad. And this is the thing that people have. I tell people when it comes to cigarettes, when it comes to anything that you take pleasure in, but it's actually bad for you, you have to let it go. The issue we have in life is the same issue Pharaoh had. Our ego is why we don't want things to be let go. And when someone tells us something, we tend to rebel against it because we think too high and mighty of ourselves, as Pharaoh was. That's why he asked Moses, "Well, who is your God that I should listen to?" But as we go back to letting go of bad things, as long as the Israelites stayed in Egypt, the Egyptians was plagued. The Egyptians was not going to prosper. But when you look at Pharaoh, one good thing in this is that his servants, I could say, was good friends. His servants told him, "Pharaoh, let the people go." The reason why that's important is because in life you need friends and people who can tell you when you're wrong. The servants told Pharaoh, "Look, let them go." And sometimes in life you gotta have people around you that are not yes men, who are not bobbleheads, who just want to tell you what you want to hear. That's the making of a real friend. In ancient times, a real friend was someone who told you the truth, whether or not you liked it or not. When I was growing up, that was the standard of being a friend. But today, the standards of being a friend is letting your friend do wrong, even though you know it's wrong, just to get along with them. That's what becoming a friend has become. But Pharaoh had servants who did not care about his status. They told him when he was wrong. They gave him advice. Today, you can't give nobody advice. Today, nobody don't want to hear nothing because they got that Pharaoh mentality where, who are you to tell me anything? People have this imagination of themselves that is not who they really are. And now it's hard for them to listen to anybody. That's called the ad hominem fallacy. Is if you don't like someone, you tend to ignore what they're saying or even their claims. The ad hominem fallacy is the reason why you got people who will not listen to someone because they'll say you're a hypocrite. Or they'll look at themselves and if this person is younger, they won't listen. This is why parents don't listen to children. Because they feel that I'm the parent, who are you to tell me something? The ad hominem fallacy, it makes you look at the person instead of the message that the person is giving. I'm not a Muslim and I never ever will be. But I can sit up here and say that Farrakhan still say stuff that I can agree with. I'm not a Christian and I never ever will be. But I can tell you there's Christian broadcasters or pastors who say things that I can say, okay, that's truthful. Even if you read the Bible, it was Balaam. He was spoken to by a donkey. And the donkey was able to tell him something. Balaam didn't say, well, no, you're an unclean animal. No, you can still listen to people. But that ad hominem fallacy makes you look at the person instead of the message they're giving you. You see, because what a person is saying, what they do is different. You see, we judge people by the character or the conduct instead of the words they give or what they say. You see, what a person say and who they are should be judged differently. When I was growing up, there was a crackhead in my neighborhood in Brooklyn that told me never use drugs. I didn't look at him and say, well, you're a crackhead, you're a hypocrite. Why are you telling me something that you're not following? Because his experience is enough to tell me that I don't want to go down that road. I had drug dealers in my neighborhood who told me they better never ever catch me selling drugs, even though they were selling drugs. Because this is what experience tells you, and I can't look at him and say, well, you're a drug dealer, so don't tell me nothing. No. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So we gotta remove that ad hominem fallacy. Because after the servants told that to Pharaoh, Pharaoh didn't listen. And because of that, it only caused Pharaoh more harm. Later on now, in the same Torah portion, Pharaoh was hit with one of them plagues that got to Pharaoh, and he asked for forgiveness. He asked for forgiveness, but he really didn't want forgiveness. He wanted to be free from the punishment or the plague that he was going through. And this is a life lesson right here. When people say, I'm sorry or forgive me, I do believe in forgiveness, but it should not be given to everybody. I tell people it's best to ask for, it's best to ask, excuse me, it's better to ask for permission than to ask for forgiveness. Because people say sorry for what they've done instead of saying sorry for who they are. A person will tell you, I'm sorry for lying to you, but never tell you, I'm sorry for being a liar. And women, now know that when I be teaching a lot concerning the woman last, and I be telling you people all the time, a man will say, I'm sorry for cheating on you, instead of saying, I'm sorry for being a cheater. And there's a difference. Pharaoh didn't ask for forgiveness for what he was. He asked for forgiveness because he wanted to be, or he wanted to get out of the punishment he was going through. Because there's a war going on when it comes to forgiveness. You got the punishment versus being sorry. You see, when a person wants to get punished, or they're tired of being punished, they'll hit you with the I'm sorry. But they're really not. It's the punishment that they want to avoid, or what they're going through. Because when a person really is sorry, they begin to feel shame. And shame is an acronym. It stands for stigma, hurting over my emotions. You see, when the stigma of what they did hurt them, then they can begin to feel sorry. But there's a difference, because like I tell people, sorry only makes things worse. Because the sorry means you knew what you did wrong and you deliberately did it. It was a premeditation. You're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught for it, or you're sorry you got exposed, but you're not sorry. It's like I tell people, how can you, women, especially y'all know when I teach this, I say when a man cheats on you, he can never say sorry to you. Because you put too much effort into cheating to be sorry. How can you say you're sorry if you deliberately hurt him? Think about the effort a man put into cheating. He got to hide it. He got to change his schedule. Same thing for women. They got to hide it, change their schedule. They got to maneuver around it. That's not a sorry person. That's a crafty person. And a person like that who get caught will only say they're sorry because they don't want to face the punishment or the repercussions of it. So this is why I tell people, you got to be careful with who you're forgiving. You see, because sorry only make things worse. Because if you was really sorry, you wouldn't hide what you did. You would confess it. Most people who get in trouble or do wrong don't confess. They only confess and say they're sorry after they got caught. If you really was remorseful, you wouldn't live with it. It would bother you to the point where you will come out and say it. This is the same thing that happened in the Garden of Eden with Adam. He didn't come out and ask the Most High for forgiveness. No, the Most High came to him and asked him what was going on. And then he explained. But when you really have remorse, you're going to speak up for yourself. And most people don't have remorse. You see, saying sorry is like a Tylenol. It can cure your headaches. Well, not cure it, it just gives you a coping mechanism for your headaches. You can't take a Tylenol for a brain aneurysm. See, that's like a migraine on steroids. And this is the difference. I'm sorry is like taking a Tylenol. Remorse, that's like a doctor going in there with that brain aneurysm. Some things in life just have to have actions. See, a person will tell you they're sorry, but they sorry have to be shown in their actions. You see, because if you really have remorse, they hurting because you're hurt. That's the true definition of remorse. See, in the word sorry, you got two wolves going on. You got remorse versus distractions. You see, a man cheats on his woman or a woman cheats on a man, now the man will get flowers, cars, and candy, and he'll romance the woman. That's called distraction. Now I'm busted and I feel bad, so now I gotta do things to make up, to make you feel happy. That's why the Torah says the gift blinds the eyes. Now I gotta do things to distract you from your pain. You see, doctors don't heal you, they give you something so you can cope with what you're going through. And that's what the I'm sorry is that most people say. They're not sorry. They know how to romance you. For example, you got a woman who will do wrong to the man, now they cooking. Now they're cleaning up the house. Now they're meeting in the bedroom with lingerie on. That's called distraction. That's not a I'm sorry. I'm trying to make up for my wrong. That's called let me distract you from your pain so you won't think about it no more. This is why I go into Shakespeare. Shakespeare says something important. Shakespeare says, repent what's past, but avoid what is to come. See, that's the true definition of remorse. It's when a person avoids. And I say this woman, and I all know me when I speak on it, I say this. There's two things a man will never do once. That is, beat on you and cheat on you. Okay? The first time you found out your man cheated on you was not the first time he cheated. That's just the first time you found out. Same thing, man. The first time you found out your woman cheated on you, that wasn't the first time she did it. That's just the first time you found out. So the reason why I bring that up, because when Pharaoh asked Moses for forgiveness, he wasn't asking for forgiveness because he really wanted to free the Israelites and change his life. No. He was asking for forgiveness because he wanted to get from under the punishment he was going through. And people know how to do that. The I'm sorry role. So yes, I believe in forgiveness. But as this Torah shows you, forgiveness comes with an action. The last part, before I go, the Egyptians said to the Israelites, after the plague of the death of the firstborn, the third plague, the Egyptians said, we are all dead men. Take us too. They wanted to leave. And as you see later on, a mixed multitude with the Israelites. The reason why I say that because the Egyptians saw the writing on the wall. They saw what Egypt was. And they didn't consent to it. They were ready to leave with the Israelites. Sometimes you gotta see the writing on the wall. You can't stay in that same state of mind all the time. When the Egyptian men saw it, the fish was dead, the water turned to blood, the cattle was killed, their family was killed, the crops was killed. They knew from that point it's time to move on. But the problem with people is they like to stay in the same state of mind they're in or the same position they're in because they'd rather choose fun over fear. I don't believe in living in fear, but I do believe in living in reality. And reality said Egypt is falling. It's time to move on. Some people don't know when it's time to move on. You see, this is because they feel they want to stick to what's behind them instead of what's before them. You see, in this called normalcy bias. Normalcy bias is when you're stalling during a crisis and pretending everything will continue to be fine as predicted. You know you are in a danger, you know you're in danger and everything is safe. See, that's what you think. Everything is fine, ain't nothing wrong. You see, the normalcy bias is self-soothing. You believe that everything is just fine. You can still engage in your normal life and still see the world as if nothing bad is happening. Normalcy bias is a state of mind which you are attempting to make everything okay by believing it still is. Normalcy bias is believing terrible events will never happen to me, I'm going to be okay. Even though there's reasons showing I should not have that belief. You see, that's called plural ignorance. It's when everyone can see something instead of you. You see, it is not what you see, it's what you choose not to see. And that's the problem with normalcy bias. You watch somebody will watch a commercial and see a woman speaking through her throat and say, "Oh, I smoke cigarettes. That will never happen to me." Why would it happen? Because that's normalcy bias. Normalcy bias is when you can't see something is over. Give it up. I say this all the time. Woman, if you're in a relationship with a man, you don't think it's that bad. If you gotta get his password to his phone, if he's not around you, you call him every 5 minutes. You jealous. You gotta hit the password to his Facebook, to his phone, to everything he do. That is bad. It's over. You gotta see the writing on the wall. But normalcy bias tells you something is not bad when it is bad. Because some people just don't want to face that reality. But the men that was in Egypt told the Israelites, listen, we see it's that bad. Get us up out of here. And that's what people need. People need to have a mind that is not pure ignorance. Everyone saw Egypt was falling. These men saw it and said, Israelites, please help me. Get me out of this situation. But we have this thing where it's bad, but it's not that bad. No, it is bad. And people can see things. The problem with us is we choose not to want to see it. And that's what normalcy bias is. You see things one way when it should be seen another. Of a tornado blowing in, I was watching the Weather Channel and the woman said, I live in New Jersey. I saw the tornado warning. I thought nothing of it. I live in New Jersey. Tornadoes don't hit here. She said it again. It ain't nothing. I see that on TV all the time. She said, till I realized my window started blowing real hard. I opened up the door and look at this massive EF3 coming towards my house. See, that's normalcy bias. You don't think nothing will never happen to you, so you don't make the right preparation for it. You gotta come to the realization as the men in Egypt did. And they said, look, Israelites, get us up out of here and let you too. And we gotta realize things are as bad as it seems. And it's us. With that, I'll say shalom.